on the battlefields of Sengoku, Japan, a core of women existed that textbooks rarely mention. They supported the turmoil of the Sengoku period in ways distinct from soldiers. In Yusuji Kenshin's Ekigo, women known as Kakasama handled logistics, and records show women also armed themselves and fought in the Nagashima Ikoiki. Yet, in truth, an even more astonishing reality was hidden. Their role wasn't limited to fighting. So what exactly was this invisible corps? This video will explain why women were on the battlefield, their specific roles, and why their truth was erased from history. Let us now delve into that truth. In the main segment, we will also elaborate on the astonishing role women played in psychological warfare. Sengoku battles were not merely tales of male valor. In fact, many women worked tirelessly in the shadows as an invisible corps, sustaining the lives of soldiers. Their most crucial role was supplying food and water to soldiers. Feeding tens of thousands of troops required vast amounts of provisions and water. Known as kakidashi anishu, camp kitchen women, they carried heavy sacks of rice, cooked in the mountains, and prepared meals for thousands in unsanitary conditions. Furthermore, nursing injured soldiers was a vital part of their work. They also provided basic first aid and emotional comfort. Some women possessed knowledge of medicinal herbs and were highly valued on the battlefield. They essentially served as medical practitioners, akin to modern-day nurses. Additionally, there were shamanic figures who purified the defilement of the battlefield. In a blood-soaked war zone, mental stability greatly influenced morale. It is also said that women were involved in the disposal of corpses and burials, tasks men often shunned. These grim tasks were what supported the hidden side of the battlefield. Soldiers maintained morale by thinking of their families and wives back home while on campaign. The presence of women also provided emotional support. Without their diligent efforts, soldiers would not have been able to continue fighting. However, their contributions rarely appeared on the forefront of history. While male valor was celebrated, women's devotion was often overlooked as a natural role. But did they truly not fight? The Onimusha, female warriors, mentioned in textbooks are almost exclusively a select few distinguished women, such as Tomo Guzan, Hangaka Guzan, and Tachibana Jinchio. However, records show that more ordinary women also armed themselves and stood on the battlefield to protect their lives and livelihoods. A prime example is the Ikoiki that tormented Oda Nobunaga. Especially during the Nagashima Ikoiki, women armed themselves and joined the fight. For people willing to sacrifice their lives for their faith, there was no distinction between men and women. To protect their families, women also took up arms and fought. Furthermore, in siege warfare, the role of women became even more critical. They hurled stones and boiling water from castle walls, obstructing enemy soldiers' entry. Moreover, some women were skilled in handling bows and arrows or matchlock guns. They were a hidden military force, directly contributing to the castle's defense. In the Sengoku period, one never knew when conflict would reach their village. Women sometimes learned martial arts for self-defense. Their bravery often became buried in the shadows of history, but they undeniably played crucial roles on the Sengoku battlefields. Fighting with physical strength isn't the only battle. Women also played significant roles in the invisible war, skillfully manipulating information and psychology. Courtesans and female peddlers ventured deep into enemy camps, acting as spies by secretly relaying intelligence they gathered to their allies. They loosened the guards of enemy commanders with sake and charm, extracting crucial information. This was a method of intelligence gathering impossible for male soldiers. Women were also used in psychological warfare to lower enemy morale. They spread false information or rumors to unsettle enemy soldiers. They could raise allied morale with songs and dances, or tempt enemy soldiers to create internal chaos. This, too, was a weapon unique to women. The Sengoku period also had a tragic aspect where women's bodies were treated as tools of war. However, they were not mere instruments. Through intelligence gathering and psychological manipulation, they could significantly impact the course of battles. They were, in a sense, the invisible command towers of the battlefield. Information warfare could sometimes dictate the lives of thousands of soldiers. It's likely that information gathered by women often determined the outcome of battles. Even if they didn't stand on the forefront of history, they certainly shone a light in the darkness of the Sengoku period. So what about their political roles? In the Sengoku period, women played a crucial role in forming alliances between clans through political marriages. Regardless of their own will, they married into rival clans, preserving peace with their very lives. Many alliances were built upon their sacrifices. Their role as hostages was also significant. The dispatch of women from prominent families to opposing sides often secured temporary peace. Their very existence functioned as a diplomatic card. Their destinies were directly tied to the survival or collapse of a domain. Furthermore, there were women like Hosokawa Gracia who influenced culture and international relations through their Christian faith. They were not mere accessories. They projected their presence as an invisible force that moved the Sengoku world. The diverse roles women undertook were indispensable to soldiers on the battlefield. So why were their achievements erased from history? The question addressed in this video: why were women on the battlefield? The answer lies in the diverse roles they played. From logistical and medical support behind the scenes, to armed frontline combat, intelligence gathering, psychological warfare, and even as tools for political negotiation. Next, their specific roles were also revealed. They supported the complex Sengoku battles that could not have been sustained by male soldiers alone. Finally, why was their truth erased from history? This was largely influenced by the male-centric values of samurai society. Official records were written by samurai, and women's contributions were often ignored as natural duties or insignificant matters. Without storytellers, their truth would eventually fade. The stories of these women were rarely told on the main stage of history. However, through reliable records and folkloric research, their existence is being revived in the modern era. Sengoku battles were not solely male narratives. The women of the invisible corps that textbooks omit may indeed have been the true unsung protagonists who supported and moved the Sengoku world.
History still hides untold stories. Subscribe for more forgotten history.